I ain't nervous.
Hey YouTube, it's Vincent here again. I posted a few cooking videos, cooking or barbecuing, something that I'm passionate about, and I'm also going to show you guys another thing that I'm passionate about, which is homebrewing. What I'm going to be brewing is it's an extract kit, and it's a wheat beer extract kit. So if you like Blue Moon, something like that, then you'll enjoy this kit. But this actually was the first beer, or this exact ingredients was the first beer that I used when I made my first homebrew recipe about 2.5 years ago. And now I've gotten a little bit more, I guess, just bold and more experimentative in the stuff that I've tried to brew with, and different types of beers. I've brewed several IPAs, a Trappiste, I believe is what it's called, similar to the Le Fin de Mont, for those fans that have tried that, or a fan of Le Fin de Mont. I've tried the Trappiste before. I've made a Blue Moon clone, a Newcastle clone, a white beer, and so like I said, I've been brewing for about 2 years, and I've made anywhere from 12 to 13 different types of beers. And to be honest with you, when the first time that I made this, which was my first batch, it was amazing. I didn't have the kegerator and the keg and CO2 and all that I have now, so I bottled it. It was probably the best batch of bottled beer that I made, and I made probably about 5 batches, maybe 6 different types of beers before I bought my kegging system. But I love it, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. So, sanitation. When it comes to homebrewing, everything has to be sanitized. Your devices that you use, such as the bucket, the tubes, anything that's going to come in contact with the wort or the beer, it all needs to be sanitized, because whenever it's fermenting, and we'll walk you through the process later on, but whenever it's fermenting, and the yeast is added, it's highly I guess susceptible to getting some type of bacteria, and which will ultimately lead to gross beer. But like I said, all of the equipment that you're going to use needs to be sanitized. What I use is Star San. It's just you can get a big bottle, but I have a smaller bottle, and it lasts me probably 4 to 5 batches. But I'll dip it into my 6-gallon bucket and throw all of the stuff that I'm going to be using, and let it sit in there for maybe 15-20 minutes. And then the cool thing about Star Sans is that you don't have to rinse it. You just dump it and everything's sanitized. Just to be clear, there's a difference between cleaning and sanitizing. Once, let's say, once I'm finished with all this, at the end of the brew today, I will clean. So what that entails is me dumping bleach into everything that came in contact with the beer or the wort, and I'll leave that in there for maybe 12 hours and then rinse it out. And with bleach, you do have to rinse multiple times to make sure that the bleach is out, and that cleans my equipment. And so what I'll do is when it comes time to use it again, I will then sanitize, because it's already been cleaned, but then I'm going to sanitize the equipment again. With the surface space, let me just show you. So this is where I'm going to be brewing, and what I will do is I will put bleach on all of this, and then just to be safe, I'm gonna put star sand, squirt it on anywhere where I plan on dropping things. I might also use this area too, so I might also bleach this area, but for the most part, I'm gonna try to keep it within this area. And I will remove all of that, all of those, the salt and pepper, and so I will have a clean surface space. But let me show you upstairs what I'm doing to sanitize my equipment. Okay, so as you can see, all my equipment has been sanitized. There's 6 gallons of spring water, and then right here, this has been bleached and sanitized as well. And what I'm gonna do is put, well, you guys can watch. Oh, one thing that I recommend is getting a bottle of Star Sands and putting it in a spray bottle, so that if for whatever reason you need it, it's there. Okay. I'm bringing two gallons of spring water to a boil. Actually, no, not to a boil, to about anywhere from 155 to 170 degrees. And turning it on high, and we'll let this come up to temp. To show you guys what we're working with, we have a Cooper's wheat beer. That's a liquid malt extract. We have 2 pounds of Bavarian wheat dry malt extract. We have 1 ounce of coriander seeds, 1 ounce of sweet orange peel, and then the Cooper's yeast that came with the kit. But like I said earlier, we're going to be using the S33 yeast. And then we'll just pitch this in maybe 10 minutes into the boil. What I'm also going to do is bring this up to a boil, so that because this liquid is really thick, and so when thick liquid is heated, it makes it a little bit more of a liquid than that syrupy feel that you would have if you didn't. 170. Well, we're going to remove it from the big burner. Okay. You're going to want to start adding this. And since this stuff goes directly to the bottom, you're going to want to constantly stir to prevent any scorching. Okay, so now that everything has been stirred and dissolved,
I just placed it back on the burner and set it on a medium-high temperature. And I do have ice cubes, so if once it gets to that boiling point, there is a chance for a boil over. And you always want to have either a spray gun or ice cubes. What that does is that'll drop the temperature down to a point where it's not boiling, and it'll help prevent that boil over. You'll really want to make sure that you do keep an eye on the brew or the liquid while during this point, because what's going to happen is, and it's happened to me, it's happened to almost everybody who has been brewing long enough. What'll happen is you step away to look at something for 5-10 seconds, and next thing you know, you have a boil over, and it'll happen like that. So unless you keep an eye on your homebrew unless you keep an eye on your liquid, that's really the only way that you can prevent a
What we're going to do is increase the temperature to a rolling boil. That's what we're going to be looking for right now. So this is the rolling boil that you're going to want to let it come to. And what we're going to do is set the timer for 15 minutes. And what we're going to do is add the coriander, and this is about a half an ounce of coriander. And then add the sweet orange peel, and this is another half ounce. And just let that stay in there, boil.
And what we're also going to do at the 10-minute mark is add this yeast. And since we're already using a yeast, we don't need this, so instead of just throwing it away, what it's going to do, anytime yeast hits something that is super hot, so once the yeast touches this water, it's going to kill it. But what's going to happen is when we go to pitch the yeast that we're actually going to use for this at the end, the dead yeast cells will provide nutrients to the active yeast cells and just help them thrive in this environment and just become stronger. So at least that's what I was told by the local homebrew attendant.
And like I said, once we add this, it's just going to kill the yeast. Okay, so we're at the end of the boil. I'm going to turn off my heat, my alarm, and I'm going to add the half an ounce of coriander, and half an ounce of sweet orange peel. Okay. My current temperature is, I'll show y'all. It's around 190.
So the wort is
down to about 85 degrees. Is I'm going to pour 2 gallons of water to this primary fermenter, and then I'm going to add the wort. Okay, so that's 2 gallons. Now let's just add more water to get us up to about 5.5 gallons. And then at that point, we should be good. So, luckily these Austin Homebrew supply buckets have a marking on them, so we'll know. That's about 5.5 gallons. We're going to give this a good mix. And we're going to check the temperature. Actually, we should do a hydrometer reading first. Okay. Alright, so it looks like the original gravity is at about a 10, 35. And so now the last thing we need to do is check the temperature. Make sure the wort is below 80 degrees. And it looks like it's at about 75, which is perfect. Okay. So, now what we want to do is pitch our yeast. Okay, so this is the yeast I've been telling you about. It's the Saf brew, and what you're going to want to do is just sprinkle it around. We need to give it a quick stir for about that
store it